or good day. My name is Ukazu, your number one human capacity coach. Let me tell you, your mistakes don't define you. Your failures don't define you. Today, we have a great topic which we shall be discussing today. It's a great topic I believe everybody will like because each and every one of us have experienced failure in one way or the other. Let us be human. We have all experienced failure. But guess what? The reason is that sometimes many people are afraid or shy of talking about their failures and their mistakes. Each and every one of us have made mistakes in one way or the other. Trust me, we've all made mistakes. And we will continue to make mistakes because we are human. Nobody is above making mistakes in life. Nobody. So mistakes is part of life. Mistakes is part of success. If you have never made a mistake, that means you are not doing anything good. You must surely make a mistakes in every aspect of life. People have failed in different capacities. But let me tell you, failure and success in life mean different things to different people. Why? Because they all react differently. So the way I'm going to handle my failure and my mistakes is different from your own failures and mistakes because we have different experience and different threshold. Failures come in different stages of life. Same thing with mistakes. Some people have failed in their marriage, in their business, in their academic, in their personal and professional development. They've all failed. So at any point in time, we have all failed. But let me tell you, what will help you is for you to fail fast. Because once you fail, you want to learn from those mistakes you fail so that you don't repeat those mistakes again. Because once you fail and you don't learn, that means you are a failure. Failure and mistakes are part of life, right? So you have to be human. They are part of life. Each and every one of us will go through those stages. But how do you handle your failures? That is what I'll be discussing with you guys today. It doesn't matter how old you are or how experienced you are in life, you must surely make a mistakes and you must surely fail. But guess what? When people tag you that you're a failure, sometimes we tend to listen to these people. But what is important is you have to be yourself. That is why I'm always big on self-discovery because as a human capacity coach, I teach people about listening to their inner voice. What voice are you listening to? Whenever you fail, are you looking at what people are going to say to you, your friends, your family? Just name it. You have to listen to your inner voice. Whenever you fail, appreciate the fact you've made a mistake or you have failed, and then you stand up. Mistakes are personal. Failures are personal. So how you handle them will go a longer way to determine how you're going to fail or how you're going to succeed. So if you handle failures negatively, it will bring you down. But if you handle failures and mistakes in a positive manner, it will rise you up because somebody defines failure as face everything and rise. It all depends on you. Do you want to fail and lie low or do you want to fail and rise up? The choice is you. That is why a great woman I love, Marilyn Monroe, she said, just because you fail in one thing doesn't mean that you're going to fail in everything. So it doesn't matter if you failed in one area, okay? You could still pick up yourself and then you move on. Everybody will fail in life in one way or the other. Everybody will fail. Once you fail, you will learn. All right? So I want to encourage you guys. I don't know what you're going through in life, but just so you know that failure is part of life. There are many advantages that comes with failure. People think that, oh, once you fail, it's negative. No. In fact, the advantages of failure is more than the disadvantages of failure. It doesn't matter any stage you are in your life. If you're a young girl, you feel you've made a mistakes in life, you are pregnant, your school was tampered, or your business, it doesn't matter what it is. Be happy you made a mistakes. Be happy you failed. Why? Because you will learn from it. And let me just say this now. Let me use a case of marriage, for example. It is better you are 40 years and you get married, and then you now live happily in the next 30 years, than you are 20 years, you get married, and then you now live frustrated for the next 50 years. So what does that tell you? That once you divorce, you have to go back to a drawing board and ask yourself, what are the things that made me divorce? Is it that I didn't know my partner very well? or I didn't know myself very well, or there was something that I should have done better, or there was a way I should have handled any scenario. These are the things we have to put into consideration so that if you are moving in the next period of life, you will not fail in those areas again. But let me tell you guys this, the greatest mistakes people have made in life is that they think they are superhuman. No, you are not superhuman. You are a human being. So you have to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable because you can make mistake. I have discovered in life most times people feel that they are very strong, that they can't make mistake. That's a fallacy. You are a human being, so you have to be vulnerable. Once you fail, know that you have flesh and blood in you. You are bound to fail. I cannot overemphasize how I have failed so much in life. Just like in social media, people won't tell you how they failed, but they will tell you about their success. I have failed and I've continued to fail. But the issue is I try to limit my failures. But if it's failure, I have failed both in my academic, in my personal life, in my professional life. I have failed. I have failed. But what people always see is the success. Do you know that most times when I fail, I have to go back to my drawing board and look at what happened. Let me give you guys a case study. Over the weekend, a few days ago, I received a mail from New York City, right? The mayor signed my business. Now, right now, I am not certified. My business is not certified in New York City. So I can receive contract right now in New York and do contract. It's a very big opportunity for me in New York. All right. But let me tell you, do you know before that process was certified, do you know I got a letter telling me that I missed something? So I got a letter. It's called notice of deficiency. So it means that I did not do something right. I went back to my drawing board and I fixed it before I was certified. That is failure. That tells you I have learned from my failure. So do not think that once you fail, that's it. Are you looking for a job or interview and then you are rejected? Go back to a drawing board. Are you writing a book and the publisher tells you that no, your book will be accepted? Go back to a drawing board. Are you dating someone and you feel that this guy is not for you, or he left you or she left you? Go back to a drawing board. Go back and reassess yourself. So failures and mistakes are part of life. So let me share with you now the values or the advantages of failures and mistakes. The number one I'm going to tell you is value. Why? Because whenever you fail in life, you are learning. Let me say, for example, now, okay, you are a politician or you're a divorcee. Do you know, as a politician, once you fail an election, tomorrow you can tell people what they need to do so that they will not fail election? Do you know, as a divorcee, once you fail your marriage, you can come out tomorrow and tell people this is how to live because you are speaking from experience. And guess what? People will pay you just to listen to you because they know you have experience. People are not paying you because you are handsome, you are beautiful, you are intelligent. In a way, people can pay for less little things, but the main reason people are paying you is because you have experience, you have value, you have information, because information is power. If you're not informed, you are ill-informed. And once you're ill-informed, you can't perform because information leads to reformation and transformation. So you are a product of what you know. Information leads to formation. So once you have information, you could share. You cannot give what you don't have. So for you to attract value, you must have value. So whenever you see somebody who is telling you A or Mr. B, you are bound to listen to that person because you know that person has experience, that person has information, that person has something that you don't know or you don't have. So value is the first thing that your mistakes and your failures will give to you. Secondly, mistakes help you to grow. Mistakes help you to be strong. If you see anybody who has failed in life, that person will be humble. Why? Because that person has seen life from a different perspective. Anybody who has never experienced failure is not a rational human being because mistakes and failures come in different perspective. So mistakes will make you strong and mistakes will make you to grow because once you fail, you will learn. As a student, once you fail, you will learn. So I'm currently in school right now. There was a class I did, I failed. And now I'm taking that class again. So I am not afraid of my mistakes. They are part of women. Do you know when you fail, people will appreciate you more when you're speaking because they know that you could feel their pains. Now, if you have never felt hunger in your life, you won't understand when someone's telling you, I'm hungry. You won't. If you have never felt pain in your life, you won't understand when someone's telling you, I have been pained. That is how life literally works. So people are not paying you just because they think you are good. No, people are paying you for your experience. Like I said, when I failed my exam, now tomorrow I can talk about failures because people want to see you when you're authentic. I am not a superman. I'm not a superwoman. I am a human being. So your mistakes will help you to grow when you fail. Then number three, failure makes you humble. When you fail, that tells you that you are human. You are a human being. You are not a super human being. You are a human being. Failure makes you to be vulnerable. I've always told people who care to listen that you have to be vulnerable. Be vulnerable doesn't mean that you are weak. When you are vulnerable, that doesn't make you weak. That makes you strong because you are telling people, this is me, this is my shortfall, these are my strengths. You are a human being. So you have to be vulnerable in life. So whenever you make a mistake, don't be hard on yourself. Whenever you make a mistake, do not criticize yourself. Rather, applaud yourself that you are doing something great. Most of you know about this great man. What's his name? Thomas Edison, the guy that invented light bulbs, right? What happened when he had that light bulb? He failed 10,000 times as we read. But guess what? He learned so many things because failure gives you knowledge. Whenever you fail, you will learn and you will improve yourself. So, my very good friends, I want to tell you guys that failure is part of life. Mistakes are part of life. Do not be hard on yourself. Never you be hard on yourself. Appreciate your journey. Appreciate your success. If possible, try and record it. It's part of those process people will see. Now I'm live on Instagram and on Facebook. People watch me on Facebook, people watch me on Instagram, people watch me on YouTube, people watch me on Twitter, even on LinkedIn. People watch me whenever I speak. Now, for many years, I have not been online. That does not mean that I don't have stuff to offer, but because I was still in the back room trying to prepare myself, now I now have information to share. I'm bringing both my experience, both personal and professional and live, to share with you guys. I'm being vulnerable because I am a human being. I make mistakes. Before now, I was never a good speaker, speaking on Instagram Live or on Facebook. But over time, I have gone back to my drawing board and asked myself, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? That's life. So those of you who have social media accounts, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? Every now and then, you have to constantly evaluate yourself. So my very good friends, I don't know if anybody has any question here. If you have any question on Facebook or Instagram, please feel free to share. And if you want to come live again, let me know, send a request, and I'll be glad to accept you. So feel free to ask me any message, any question you have, or even though you have any suggestion, feel free to share. What do you understand by failure? What do you understand by mistakes? What failure has humbled you? Have you failed in your life? How has failure made you to succeed in life? Just let me know your thoughts on mistakes and failures. Because guess what? One thing that I have seen in life over time is that many people are hard on themselves. Many people are hard on themselves. Let me tell you, you don't have to be hard on yourself. You are a human being. What did I say? You are a human being. You don't have to be hard on yourself. All you need to do is look at your strengths and your weakness. Major on your strengths and work on your weakness. The world does not care about your failures. The world does not care about your weakness. Rather, the world cares about your strengths and your success. Your stories, your failures, your mistakes are all there to add to your experience, to add to your story, because it is your failures, your mistakes that will make your story to be sweet. If tomorrow you start talking, maybe you tell people, oh, I am this, I am that, without talking about your failures and your mistakes, it will be hard for people to relate with you. But when people see your story from a humble beginning, For example, I had no dad and mom, but today I'm a graduate. For example, my parents left me when I was a kid, but today I'm a pilot. For example, I failed so many tests in my school, but today look at where I am. For example, I was fired in my job. Today, see what I have done in my life. People want to see your story. People want to see your experience. All right, so that is what life is all about. I have a great comment on Instagram. It says, once you fail, the society don't give you opportunities for second chance. So how do you start over? Let me tell you, that is part of life. I don't strongly believe that the society does not give you a second chance once you fail. It depends on the area you're looking at for. For example, if you are talking about marriage, for example, you have failed in your marriage, that does not mean that nobody will give you a second chance. No, it's just that there's something that was missing that you have to plug in. So let me be a little bit specific. Now, once you failed your marriage, that tells me that there was something that was wrong somewhere, or the man or the woman you were with did not really appreciate you very well, or both of you were not compatible enough because there was lack of communication or whatever is the case. So when you go out there and you now work on yourself, add value to yourself, trust me, people will come to you. People are always drawn to what they like. People are always drawn to what they like. If I don't have any form of attraction to you, I won't come close to you. So once you're divorced, go back and add value to your life and find who else will match with you. So, for example, again, if you're talking about professionalism, once you fail in a job, that doesn't mean that you're a failure. I once failed in a job that I was doing one time. My boss never liked me. As a matter of fact, they kind of conspired and I was fired from that job. Not I was fired, I resigned from that job. They didn't take me back. But when I now got another job, guess what? I now performed excellently well. So I learned from my previous job. I did not really fail, just that they didn't like me and I had to put some things together. Right? But when I left that job, I was not able to succeed exponentially more than I was succeeding in my previous job. So people will always give you opportunities. I will tell you that for a fact. Yes, the world is a funny word. People don't like failures, but people will always give you opportunities. It's only when you have the right opportunities that you will literally succeed. Let me share with you someone like Oprah Winfrey. I watched Oprah Winfrey's story, right? Oprah Winfrey once said that once she was working in a particular job, she was being paid lesser than a man. They were doing the same job. Imagine as a lady, you were hired with a colleague, or maybe you're on a team. So Mr. A is being paid $10,000, and Mr. B, no, Miss A is paid 10,000, while Miss B is paid 5,000. But you guys are doing the same job. That is not fair. There should be equal opportunity. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, provided we are doing the same job, we should be paid. But Oprah Winfrey said the day she discovered that her counterpart was being paid more than her, that was the day she resigned from her job. She asked her boss. The boss just gave her a flimsy excuse. He's a man. He has more stuff to do. But they're doing the same job. Same Oprah Winfrey once said that she was told by her boss that she was not good for the screen or for the media, and she was fired. But guess what? Today, we all know that Oprah Winfrey is one of the most influential women in the world. You guys know about Oprah Winfrey show. So when she got the right opportunity, she made it. So I strongly believe that the world will give you a second chance. The universe will give you there's always a second chance in life. There's always a second chance. All right. So once you fail, don't think it's over. Go back to the drawing board and see what else did you do well. I don't know if I handled that question very, very well. If no, please feel free to let me know. All right. And I'll be glad to share with you. Or you can inbox me and then we can take it further. But I strongly believe that there is always an opportunity. If someone should give up on you, that does not mean that somebody else will not give up on you. It's like as a young man or a young lady, right? A young man who is trying to approach a lady and the lady turned him down. That does not mean that another young lady won't accept him. Or as a young lady trying to meet a man and the man turned you down, that does not mean that another man will not accept you, even though you've made a mistake. In fact, there's a mistake that you will do, people will appreciate that mistake. All right. So we are all human. That is why I said again, mistakes helps you to be human. You have to be vulnerable. Once you have this attitude that I'm strong, you might not really go far in life. Be vulnerable. Appreciate your mistakes because you're human. All right. So my very good friends, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today on this webinar where we'll talk about mistakes and failures. But let me tell you, this is not a complete picture of what is called failure and mistakes. I'm giving you an idea. If you need more on this, on how to work on mistakes and failures, feel free to reach out to me. As a human capacity coach, I train people on the mindsets, on how they can turn their failures into their friend in order for them to unleash their potentials. I don't know any pain you've had in the past. I don't know any struggle you've had. I don't know any experience you've had. Is it personal? Is it professional? Is it marriage? Or is it any form of relationship? Is it business? Feel free to reach out to me and I'll be glad to share with you on how you can literally unleash your potentials. Send me a message on my Instagram, send me a message on my YouTube, or reply to my comments on Facebook or Twitter. Reach out to me and I'll be glad to share with you. So for now, this is Mr. Ukazu Henry saying, wishing you a happy, blissful evening from New York City. Next week again, I'll be here with another good topic. So let me know any topic you want me to share with you, and I'll be glad to share with you. So for now, take care and have a blissful evening. Bye.